Welcome back to Cliff's Corner. In this episode, Cliff demonstrates fire skills.
Making the fire. Scenario. It's been raining miserably for 2 weeks now. Every depression is a pond, every leaf is a pool. Every piece of wood is soaking wet. What to do? We go back into the woods and we look for a dead down tree. Dead and down for 2 reasons. One, because we don't cut green wood and because it wouldn't burn anyway. And number 2, any wood that is down on the forest floor in touch with the ground will attract microorganisms and critters and is apt to be rotten. So we want some standing wood about like what you see over here. We're going to go to this with our saw and we're going to cut off a piece about 1 foot long. Just 1 foot long. Okay. Once you've cut the first chunk of log off, you perform 2 tests. I call them the cheek and lips test. The cheek test is like this. Simply take the end of the log and hold it up against your cheek and see if it feels wet or damp. If it doesn't, I go to the lips test. I just put it against my lips and smell it at the same time. Now I know this sounds a little hokey, but the fact is your nose will immediately pick up any damp smells, your cheek, your lips will feel any dampness in the wood. In all likeliness, in a log this thick, and this is about a 3-inch diameter log, the center should be bone dry. There may be a little ring of water around the outside that goes in 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, but beyond that, the rest of this should be dry. If it's dry, you can keep cutting up these sections until you have about 12 of them to take back with you. And oh yes, if you use this piece, don't forget to cut a chunk off the other side because the side that was out naturally is going to be soaking wet. So we want to cut off about 12 pieces 1 foot long, and then we will cut off 1 more piece that's about 2 feet long. And we'll see how to use that section in just a minute. We're now ready to build the fire. The rule of thumb is that tinder is the highly flammable stuff that you're going to light your match, strike your match, and start your fire. The rule of thumb is that tinder should be no thicker than the thickness of a match. That means we have to split this out so that the wood in here is no thicker than the thickness of a match. It's now time to use the axe. Now anytime you take an axe and you start flailing away, no matter how good you are, somebody stands a chance of getting hurt. Most likely you. The method I'm going to show you for using the axe is very safe. I've used it with all the groups that I guide all over North America. I've used it with teenagers for years, and I've never had an accident. We want to establish some sort of a flat base. Usually you can just split a section of log or cut out a little notch in it and stand this on end like so. Then we're going to take our hatchet and we're going to stick it right on the center. Now if you have a friend to help you, you'll hold the hatchet with both hands while a friend pounds the head on through. If you don't, well, you're just going to have to do it yourself. Start it. And here we go. Okay, well that looks like that split 3 times. I'll split it again. Now eventually we're going to get to the point where we want to split very, very tiny stuff. You can continue to split by pounding if you like, or you can stand it on end and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is take a keeper stick and hold the keeper stick on the side and just come down on it and split like that. So you keep splitting until you can get as small as you want, until pretty soon it's going to be hard even hitting this with the axe using a keeper stick. Okay, then it's time to go to the knife. May the wind be at your back as you explore new places, and may you care enough to preserve the wild and wilderness for all who follow.
Thank you for watching Cliff's Corner. If you would like to see more content by Cliff, please subscribe to my channel. If you would like to purchase the Forgotten Skills video, go to Cliff's website, cliffcanoe.com. Or scan this QR code to go directly to Cliff's site. I want to thank Dan Nestor for permission to use his music. Stay tuned for more episodes from Cliff as he shares his tips to help make your camping experience more enjoyable.